Welcome back, guys. This is Dayz Overpoch. Um, Back on my Taviana base here at Lyubol, Lyubol. I don't know how to say it, but it's right here. Now this is the second base building video I've made for this. So if you didn't see the first one, you can go check out the first one. It's on my site. I'll have it linked. Yeah, I've done some improvements since then. Just some things. I'm still not quite finished with it completely. I'll just take you through a complete tour here again. Let's start with over here. Obviously, up top, it's just a helipad. Can go in the tower. Let's start in the tower, I guess, or the entrance to the tower. Fortunately, I think I need to go through and replace that door so it opens outward, because this way it makes it inconvenient. If I need to run in here, I've got to run in and shut the door before I can go up the stairs. Now right now I've got nothing built inside the tower here at all. Nothing whatsoever. Matter of fact, the only security that nobody's going to get in my base from the top of the tower is just this door here. I don't have a door upstairs. Now I do keep my venom, my Huey venom up top there, because it makes a nice little landing pad up there. But that's basically all I've done up in here, is just add the door. I had to put these stairs here because I found more often than not these castle stairs that are pre-built on here. They're part of the castle. They tend to be offset. So I was finding occasionally I would get stuck in this gap. One time I actually fell through. Kind of sucked. But these stairs should be lower than this, so it evens up with it exactly. But I remedied that just by putting some stairs. I lined them up with the platform here and just sunk them in there. Now it goes up and down just fine. I still have this little crossbar thing here that gets in my way, but there's not really much I can do about that. I thought about putting a platform up here, like a wood floor, and just sinking it so it's level. But I don't know if that's going to do much besides. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to do anything useful. So here, as you see, I've got no lock on that door, and I could have used a regular door. I'm just now realizing that for some reason. I kind of like the garage door how it opens like that. I just kind of put a metal floor out here and then built a little sandbag nest. That way I can see people coming in, because I don't put garage doors on the entrance to the castle. I don't care if people come into the courtyard. I mean, this again, this is a PvE server, so I don't have, I don't have to worry about people raiding my base per se. People do raid bases even though they're not supposed to. I'm one of them. If you leave your base unlocked or if it starts to decay, I'm infamous for raiding a decaying base. So, yeah, don't let your base decay on a PvE server, because I will raid it, even if I'm not allowed to. But yeah, I don't put garage doors there because I find more often than not it's kind of a pain in the ass trying to get Urals through there. and then you've got to raise them up, and then because you got to go up the little ramps right there, and on the other side it's even worse. You've got to have the garage doors up pretty high in order to be able to get the Euro through. So I don't worry about it. Now there's a couple things I would do differently if this was on a PvE server, a PvP server. I probably would put a door on this side of the entrance to the castle. That way I have like an airlock system. You know, I have to come in here and then go into that door or this door over here into the actual base part of my base. We'll get into the helipad. Let's see if I can get you a better view. Yeah, I've got the USEC up there. I still need to work on that. I've kind of remedied it a little bit from the last video, but I think I need to just tear it down and completely redo it. Just haven't had the time nor the patience. But yeah, it's just a little overlooked to, mainly on this server, it's, you got a bad issue with AI helis. Hueys will fly over and their gunners will just spray the area if you're in it. And that's why I've got all the camo nets. The camo nets are actually, I recommend the camo nets even if you're on a PvP server. Because then, you know, not only can they not see really what's in your base when they're flying over, but they can't see exactly where you're at in your base. Plus it prevents them from landing in the base. I don't believe you can land on camo nets. We'll go ahead and go down here. I'll show you the coverage I've got on it. Now the beauty is back here we've got all these trees, and I think this varies from server to server for some reason. I've been on some where there was practically no trees out here. And you can see this structure here is that far off the ground, which is exactly how far the stairs over here are off the ground. So I think it's a problem with the file on the server or something like that. I don't know. I just remedied that by putting a platform up there and then adding my own stairs. I did put sandbags, the sandbag there, that way you can't fall off. Because that is, I found out that is just high enough to break your legs. So I remedied that by putting that there. I'm thinking one of my other upgrades is I'm going to build a wall all the way up, at least to the door there, and maybe encase these stairs completely. You know, a wall back here, maybe with a door here so you can access underneath the stairs. But that's a future project. Now over here, oh, the coverage of the camo nets. See, I didn't cover completely. I mean, I do have gaps, and that's mainly, again, same reason I built the overlook there. I needed a way to be able to shoot back at these AI helicopters flying by, and still protect my base from being able to people being able to land in here. Because I did have a case where somebody had tried to raid my base, and they got a couple vehicles that were unlocked, and I think they towed them out because I had walls up. There's no way they could have pulled them through, so I'm pretty sure they came in and lifted them out with a heli, and they got a lot of items out of them. It's nothing that really affected me too much because I lock all my stuff up over in here, and I'll go ahead and show this to you. I just made this little room here. And again, that still haven't fixed that, but it's not really a big deal. After I placed the wall, it kind of offset for some reason after a restart. Farm was infamous for that. So basically, I just created a little room here and put some high-capacity sheds, a couple other little wood sheds to put. I got vehicle parts in that one, wood in that one, weapons and ammo in this one, and then building materials in this one. And then this is where I keep all my cinder. Had to separate the cinder from everything else because it was starting to fill that one up quick, and I kept finding more I kept finding more bases to loot, or the IKEA missions on this server are actually really plentiful when it comes to building supplies. So when I go do those, I gotta have some place to put it all. So I had to separate the cinder. I've got like 130 some cinder blocks, like 50 some cinder walls. So I've got a lot. I've got plenty to do what I want to do here, and maybe even more. Now over here, I just kind of built these garages. They don't have doors, as you can see. I didn't want to put doors. I probably could still put doors on them, but this is more for cover. And that, again, for this server, it's really cosmetic because when when you've got vehicles that you can lock, they have God mode on them on this server. But if you're on a server like a PvP server, or maybe even another PvE server that's heavy on AI shootings, that doesn't have that locked vehicle God mode, this is a good idea because then they can't shoot through the trees at your vehicles and destroy them. It makes it harder for them to spot them, for one, because of the camo nets, and then obviously the blue vehicle there, the blue Hummer, is going to stick out like a sore thumb. But I was just toying around with the paint mod they have, and I came up with that one. Kind of makes me a target out rolling around in it, but whatever. This URL is actually a spawn URL. No key for it, but it's a helicopter. I don't know where he's at. The good thing about the camo nets is if I stay underneath of them, and those AI choppers tend to fly right by because they don't see me, which is good. When it was all open, man, they would almost always stop and light me up. Anyway, I could extend this more for more garages, but I ran into the fact that this structure is here, which is immovable, obviously. So you have to come through and like weave through the trees. This door here is actually kind of inconvenient to have because of these two trees here. And this one likes to eat vehicles. I don't know why. This little tiny tree likes to eat vehicles. I've wrecked 2 vehicles into it, the Hummer being one of them. And it go away. Okay. As you can see, you've got God mode on, or zombie God mode, I should say, when you're in your base. On the server too. AI still can kill you while you're in your base. Just zombies, they spawn, and then when they get close enough to you, they will disappear. Anyway, this tree here, this one, and there's another one over here. I think somewhere, there it is, right there. For some reason, when you wreck vehicles into them, they don't fall. They don't. Even the heavier vehicles like the Urals, they have trouble knocking them down for some reason. They'll knock down the big trees, but these little ones, they don't knock down unless you hit them just right. And then they kind of they go inside your vehicle, and then you can't get your vehicle out of it. And I found the only actually rescued the Hummer, and the cop car, I think, was the other one. Where's my cop car? That one. Was the one that got stuck on the other one over there. I had to actually rescue it by hatcheting the tree down while the car was inside of it. And then another guy, another player actually gave me an idea about that. If your server has the tow option, you can actually pull another vehicle up to it and tow it, and then it will take it off of the tree and tow it to the other vehicles. So that's a good way to get vehicles unstuck from different situations or flipped back over. Good thing. Now, as you can see, I've got more coverage, camo nets. I just kind of put them up. Now here I didn't put, because I don't really hang out, I don't ever hang out over here, so being shot over here is not a big deal. With this bush here, it makes it unlandable. You can't really land on that, in that area because of that bush. And it gives me another spot where I can hide underneath the camo nets and come out and shoot the AI choppers as they come by. Same for over here. I think I actually might put a large camo net. That's just a small one, but I might put a large one just to get a little bit more coverage over there. But with the trees, it makes it unlandable anyway. But a really skilled little bird pilot could probably get in here if they tried. So I do want to get a little bit more coverage with the camo nets. Thinking about putting one completely over top of this wall structure here, meeting that one and that one there, kind of together, so it like covers this whole area there. But over here, we've got, I still haven't decided if I'm putting a wall here or not. I still may put a wall there with a garage door to come through. I haven't decided yet if I want to make this a separate compound. And over here, I've just got, some hex barriers where I can park vehicles. Now, these Urals, I actually got one on it was a spawn, and I found them while I was out. Had some loot in it. Been sitting there a while, so, and I had passed it a few times, so I said, what the heck, let's bring it back to base. And I brought it back to base and unloaded the loot. Now this one here, this one appeared in my base that the day that base raid happened. So I think this was theirs. Like maybe they were towing it, and then they came across my base and decided, okay, well, let's drop that and steal one of the other vehicles. I think they stole a Hummer. So Hummer, I think, is what they stole. But it appeared. They took like 4 wheels off of it and then left it sit. And they also stole wheels off of that. And these were parked on this other side of the wall here. These 3, and then the tanker one was all parked over here. And they just like scavenged parts from them. And they left this one here and they actually took 2 other vehicles. One was a Hummer, one was a 350Z. But anyway, I tend to ramble here. So I built this structure here for more garage space. That and to kind of cover the area. I got to get a camo tent up here. I was trying to put one up there before the video. I decided to hold off because I want to put a small one up there. All I've got is large camo tents, and that kind of interferes with the tail of the USEC. So, and I want to be able to park that USEC up there. If not a USEC, a Blackhawk, and they're about the same length. So I've got this area just kind of built in a hurry, just to kind of cover the space and give more cover for, oh god, my dog farted. That is rank. Anyway, just to kind of give more garage space. Thinking about maybe roofing that off, maybe even removing the hex barriers or whatever, and making that a Ural garage. Which basically with a Ural garage, you just build the roof and the walls, and that's it. You don't put garage doors on it because they don't fit through garage doors. Plus, I wouldn't be putting doors on them anyway, so what's the point in putting a garage door there if you're not putting doors on it? And you got to put them up higher anyway, so there's really no point. So that's that, guys. This is the other way out. I do. Let me get and open it. I do intend on building another overlook. I've decided I'm going to do it, but it's going to be right here. It's going to come out over this area and be another overlook. That way I can, because over there I don't have very good angles at that door, and if they tend to, again, this is a PvE server and I don't have this issue, but I like to build my bases with the intent on being a PvE. That way you guys that watch them and you want to build it on a PvE server, it's functional for you. So the intent on building another overlook here is not only so I can get more shots on AI choppers that come by in this case, but in the case of this maybe being rebuilt on a PvE or PvP server, when people come into the courtyard, they can essentially run in, get up underneath here, and, you know, whatever. I can't get to them from up there. You know, they can wait me out or whatever at this point. So the idea is to build another overlook over there. That way they can't, you know, I can shoot over here. You know, I'll have one of those over there. And, yeah. Now, I still need to repair this thing. Let me just shut this door real quick. So, up here, nothing special, and like I said, I need to rebuild this platform because I didn't think it through very well when I built it. Basically, I just put the door here. It used to just be a ladder to some stairs. Now it's still ladder to stairs, but I've got the enclosed doorway. That way, if the USEC's not up there and they land, they still can't get down into my base very easily. Which I guess is a moot point because they can walk in the front door. But this is more to secure people coming through the front door and then up the stairs to get my unlocked helicopter. Rather than the other way around, people coming into my base from up there. Because this is a spawned USEC, it doesn't have a key. Right now it's completely out of gas and I've got to get some fuel barrels to fill it back up to be able to move it. So it's kind of just a pretty centerpiece to the helicopter, to the base. Like I said, I do need to I'm thinking about tearing this thing completely down and rebuilding it, just to make it look prettier. But it was a kind of a function on the fly thing initially because I had found the USEC and I flew it over to my base with the intent to land it in the courtyard, but then I realized the propeller span on those things, it is very risky trying, even without the, at that time I didn't even have the camo nets up, and the clearance is, it would fit right here, but it just like, it's really tight. And you have to be really, really skilled pilot. And I'm a decent helicopter pilot, but that thing's just a beast to fly. The propeller span on it and the tail, it's a nightmare to try to land in a tight spot. And obviously this isn't a tight spot, but you can see how big it is and how much area it'll fill, and you know, one little screw up and then you're in a wall. It's not fun. So that's that. Thinking about building another garage area here. Maybe one that locks up. That way I can have, quick access. Come in through the main door there, come in here, pop it in there, lock it up, and be able to log out. In those cases where it's getting close to maybe server restart, or maybe I need to leave soon and I'm in the middle of something, I can secure my vehicle and its contents quickly without having to worry about gotta get it in the base, and then because nothing inside here actually locks. The garage over there on the other side doesn't lock. These don't lock. These don't even have doors. The only thing that's actually secure in here really is the door to the castle there, and then my supply thing. That's it. Very minimum security when it comes to belongings. I've got a few safes where I keep different things, but as far as vehicle security, there really isn't any. And I tend to find a lot of spawned vehicles while I'm out, because a lot of the times I'll start out with a locked vehicle and I'll get out there and it'll be destroyed or whatever, and I have to find my way back to base, and in doing so I find a spawned vehicle and I'll keep it and I'll run around with it for a while. Again, guys, if you got any comments on how to improve, I'd like to hear them. I do want to work on the top helipad a little bit more so I can land a larger chopper. Blackhawk essentially up there. You can get a Blackhawk on there, but it just fits on there and it is tight. My thought is go ahead and run up here real quick and I'll show you guys. The thought is to expand off of it. Nope. See, this is the issue I have with the door. If I could have it open the other way or outward, it would be great. What's this? Steve. We don't want Steve. We're going to leave that there. No, we don't want an Uzi. Could definitely use the food, though. Sorry, guys. I hate to eat on camera, but, that guy's going to eat. Anyway, so we've got this lip here that kind of hinders, building right off of the roof. So my thought is I can build a platform over top of the lip that's here, and then just make a staircase maybe right here that goes up to and onto the lip, and that way I can extend out maybe one metal floor that way, and obviously there's going to be two next to each other here this way and then out that way, and maybe I can get a couple large helicopters up here would be the ideal. By a couple large helicopters I mean Hueys or Blackhawks, not two USECs, because you can see the sheer size of that helicopter from up here. It is huge. Now the Blackhawk is about as long, but the propeller span on it isn't quite as big. And obviously the Venom here fits nicely up here. This is by far my favorite helicopter, especially for scouting, that kind of thing. I love the Huey, or the Venom. The Huey's nice, but I only like to fly the Huey. I don't have one right now, but I like to fly the Huey when I've got gunners. That you don't need gunners. You got the HUD system and you can just shoot from it. Same with the Blackhawk. Well, depends on which version of the Blackhawk you get, but The Black Hawk's good for, just like the USEC, it's good for long distances. Like if you're on this island or you're here at base and you want to fly all the way down to the aircraft dealer or all the way over here or over to this other island, the USEC is great for that because it flies so smooth and so fast because it's so big. Those trips they don't take long at all. Whereas if you were in a little bird, it would seem like it'd take you forever to get over to that other island. So that's the future plan. I'm thinking about maybe adding some floors in here, or maybe a floor. I haven't decided yet. Probably just one floor, probably off of these stairs here, and then making it a full floor. I don't know, maybe these stairs, get one full floor and that's it. I don't know. I would like to do something to make these stairs a little bit more safe to run up, I'll tell you that. I've seen it where people, and I might even do that, where people build the wood stairs over top of these, and then they upgrade the wood stairs so they have banisters, and they do that all the way up, which is kind of nice, and I think I might even do that. And then they put little half walls on these sections. I might even do that, because I really have no interest in building really anything in here. I don't need to put anything in here. Now, if you're a group that are looking to build, this is a perfect base for a large group. Lots of room, lots of different areas for each person to have their own personal space. Another upgrade, well, I'm thinking about another upgrade I wanted to do was put a metal floor. I'm probably going to pull that one up, raise it to the top of the brick there. See, there's a gap between the sandbags and the brick. I'll probably even it out right there so it's level with the brick, and then put another one next to it. That way I can, because I plan on getting another helicopter, probably a little bird for short runs or whatever, and I could land that there. But then I've got to figure out how to secure it up there, and because essentially people could get on that platform and just jump down into the base onto the stairs, and then they're in, which proposes a security threat. And I've already established that people like to come in my base and root through my vehicles and steal my vehicles. I have essentially, I guess there's areas like here. If they park the vehicle here, they could probably get a little bird in there to tow it out. I know over there they could. It's coming together, guys. I've got some more upgrades I want to do, and like the wall here to encase the staircase, which might solve that whole issue of being able to get into the base, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, that's it. That's the Taviana base here, castle base. Obviously this build would be a lot quicker and a lot faster with a group of people working on it. I've done this all myself, and it's taking me quite a while, probably a month altogether to get this far with it. And that's going out and scavenging for loot, either from decayed base raids or from missions, which are probably the harder way to get it. There's not too many bases on this server, unfortunately, because the AI is so aggressive that people don't really get the... a lot of people get on here and they go do those AI missions. And the IKEA mission that provides the base building materials will actually give you everything you need to start a base. It gives you metal floors, cinder block walls, cinder, mortar, wood walls, and garage doors, and locks. Sometimes even a safe or a lockbox. But the problem is unless you're a really good sniper that can stay hidden and stay, which is near impossible, and can maneuver shooting about 50 AI, somewhere between 20 and 50. It depends on whether it's a hard or extreme mission. And then on top of that, maneuver around the AI helicopters that like to do patrols. Because if you're up shooting a mission, let's take this mission up here for instance. This is just a captured M22, and it's only a medium mission. But if it was a hard IKEA mission, you would have to find somewhere, probably up here, would be my choice, up here at this peak, to shoot down at them. Okay, well, yeah, you've got a good vantage point, but that also exposes you for the flying AI that come by, and they will light you up as soon as they see you, and they will not leave you alone until you are dead, or they are dead. So, and the AI are relentless too. Once you start shooting at them, if they know your location, they will try to flank you. They are incredibly hard on this server, which is why I like this server, because I don't even have to have PvP interactions. I can just go to these missions, and 9 times out of 10, I don't come home with the same character. Usually, I come home with 2 or 3 characters later, because I've had to respawn a couple times and go back and get my junk. It's a pretty hard server. Yeah, guys, if you guys any suggestions on base upgrades, maybe how I can improve it, or maybe things you don't like and why you don't like them. Yeah, I'm up for any kind of criticism. If you got any questions on how I've done certain things, or maybe how I remedy certain things, I'd be happy to answer them. Please leave a comment below. And guys, if you like these base building videos and you want to see more, I do enjoy doing them, and if that's what you guys like to watch, I'd be happy to make you more in different areas of Taviana, maybe different servers and different maps, like Nap and Chernarus. I've done quite a few on Chernarus, and I kind of want to get back to Chernarus too, but I've got so many ideas on Taviana. So many ideas. Oops, there it goes. So, yeah, guys, if you guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any suggestions, comments, or any kind of criticism. Thanks for watching, guys.